everyone, welcome to the next session of Strength of Materials. In this session, we are going to discuss about strain energy in compound bars, which means the bars will be held in series as you can see in the figure here. The two bars are fixed at one end and at the other end there is a load P which is applied. Bar 1 has a length of L1 and the second bar has a length of L2. Let's talk about the forces which are taken up by each bar. Say the first bar is taking up force P1 and the second bar is subjected to the force P2. We can say that the two bars are subjected to equal amount of forces. When I say about force, I can talk in terms of stress. When the body is subjected to some amount of force, the body will react and show some amount of stress. So I am writing here sigma 1 A1, which is P1, will be equal to sigma 2 A2, which is P2. When we talk about force, we talk about stress. There has to be some amount of deformation or strain in the body. So the deformation in the member, which I say as delta L for the entire body, will be delta L1, which is the change in length for the first bar, and change in length of the second bar is say L2. So the summation of both will be the total change in length in the member. When I talk about the strain part, I should also talk about the energy which will be stored in the member because of the change in dimensions. So that is nothing but my strain energy in the member. If I say the total strain energy is U, it will be summation of U1 and U2. U1 is the strain energy of the first member and U2 will be the strain energy of the second member. So these are some of the formulas which we need to use while solving of numericals. Let's take up the first numerical. Two bars, each of length L and of same material, are each subjected to the same axial tensile force P. The first bar has a uniform diameter 2d. So we are talking about a bar which has diameter 2d. And the length of the bar is L. The second bar has a diameter d for a length 1/3. So we are going to say that 1/3 of the length is diameter d and a diameter 2d for the remaining length. So when I say 1/3 is d, obviously 2/3 is going to be 2d. Compare the strain energies of the two bars. So we have to compare the strain energies. Now let me call this as case 1 and this diagram as case 2. Let's take up the case 1 first. When I talk about case 1, let me say the stress is P by A. Now I have not shown the load here. You can also show it by marking P on both the sides. P is going to remain as P. Area is pi by 4 d square. But here diameter is not d, it is 2d. So this will be P upon pi by 4 2d the whole square. So this will be P upon pi by 4. 2 square is 4 and d square. So this 4 gets cancelled and what remains is P upon pi d square. So this is the formula which I can use for stress. Now let's talk about the strain energy for the case 1. Let me call it as U1. The formula is sigma square AL upon 2E. This is the general formula. Let me substitute sigma as P upon pi d square, the whole square. This is my sigma square. Area in itself will be pi by 4 2d square. That's what we just discussed into L upon 4 into 2E. This term 2E is written here. Now when I have to solve this, this will be P square upon pi square d raised to 4 square raised to 2, and this will be pi into 4d square into L. Here I have 4 into 2e. 1 pi and 1 pi gets cancelled. This 4 and 4 will get cancelled. This is d square and this is d raised to 4. So what remains is p square L upon pi d square into 2e. This is my strain energy for the first case. Now let's take up the second case. As we have just seen the formula, total strain energy will be the strain energy for the first portion of the bar plus the strain energy of the second portion of the bar. So let me call this as U2, and let me rename these two as U3 and U4. So when I talk about U3, I'm talking about this portion, and U4 is going to be this portion, the 2D portion. So let me write down the formula. It will be sigma square AL upon 2E. Let me write here 3 plus sigma square AL upon 2E, and let me write this as 4. So the formula here will be sigma is P by A. So I'll have P upon A. This will be square and square into AL upon 2E. Now this is for the U3 one. And here I'll write down again P square upon A square into AL upon 2E. This 1A and 1A gets cancelled. So what remains is P square L upon 2AE, third one, plus P square L upon 2AE for the fourth one. Now let's substitute. P square will remain as it is. L will be L by 3, and this will be 2 pi by 4 just d square into e. This is for the front portion, the first portion over here. When I talk about the second portion, this is p square into 2l by 3 upon 2. Area will be pi by 4, 2d the whole square into e. Now let's solve this. This will be p square L upon 3 into 2 into pi by 4 d square into e. Plus here I'll have p square, and this will be 2 multiplied here L upon 3 into 2 into pi by 4, and this will be 4d square into e. This 4 and 4 will get cancelled. This 2 and 2 will also get cancelled. So let me write down these terms. This 4 can be multiplied above, and this will be 3 into, okay, this 2 and 2 can also be cancelled here. So just 2 multiplied above, which will be 2p square L upon 3 pi d square e. We can see here, plus here I'll have only p square L. So plus p square L upon 3 pi d square e. Now I have p square L upon 3 pi d square e is common. This is 2 plus 1, which becomes 3. So this 3 and 3 will get cancelled out. So what remains is p square L upon pi d square e. This is my second strain energy. Now when I have to compare, what I would do is I'll just find a ratio of U1 to U2. You can calculate either way you want. My U1 was p square L upon pi d square 2e. and U2 is P square L upon pi d square E. So when you see here, this P square L can be cancelled, pi d square and E will also get cancelled. So what remains is 1 upon 2. So this is my answer. Now let's take up another numerical. A steel bar consists of two equal portions, each 1 meter long. So you can see L1 is 1 meter, L2 is 1 meter. The respective diameters of each portion being 30 mm and 50 mm. Find the total strain energy of the bar when it is subjected to a pull of 150 kilonewton. So you can see here the load is given as 150 kilonewton. Take E as 200 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per mm square for steel. Now this is a very simple numerical. I am supposed to calculate the total strain energy of the bar. So let me say the total strain energy is U. The strain energy of the first bar is say U1 and for the second bar say it is U2. So it is very simple, U1 plus U2. The formula is going to be sigma square AL upon 2E for the first bar plus sigma square AL upon 2E for the second bar. You know that sigma is P by A. So this will be sigma square upon A square into AL upon 2E for the first one plus sigma square upon A square into AL and here you'll have 2E for the second bar. This area gets cancelled out from numerator and denominator. So what remains is P square L upon 2AE for the first bar plus P square L upon 2AE for the second bar. Now P square L, these P, L and E are common terms because they are same for both the bars. What is different is only the area. So when you solve, therefore U is equal to, I can take P square L upon 2E as common for both the terms. What remains is 1 upon A1 plus 1 upon A2. So this becomes P square L upon 2E A1 plus A2 divided by A1 into A2. Now I can solve this. P is 150 kilonewton. Length is same for both, so 1000 mm. E is 2 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square. For calculating area, A1 and A2, I can separately calculate it if required, or you can just substitute and solve here as well. Now suppose if I solve it separately, A1 is going to be pi by 4. The diameter of the first one is 30. So it is 30 square. This value will be 706.86 mm square. And when I talk about A2, it is pi by 4, 50 square. You can see here it's given. So when I solve this, I get the value as 1963.5 mm square. So you can just separately calculate it. So while solving it becomes easier. Just substitute. I obtain the solution as 108,222 Newton mm. I can also write this as 108.22 Newton meter. So this is the answer for the question given. Let's go to another numerical. A 1 meter long bar is subjected to an axial pull P, which includes a maximum stress of 150 megapascal. So let's write down the data which is given to me. The value of sigma max is given as 150. Megapascal means Newton per mm square. The value of E is given as 200 gigapascal. Gigapascal can be converted into Newton per mm square as 2 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square. Calculate the strain energy stored in the bar. So I have to calculate the value of total strain energy in the bar U. When I solve this, I can write down total strain energy will be U1 plus U2 plus the third one. Now, okay, this is my bar 1. If you look here carefully, if I write U1, let's say it is for the first bar, this U2 can be written twice rather than writing U2 plus another term. So I'll just write here it is twice U2 because U2 is going to be 2 times, and I am writing it so because the length and area is same. Also the value of load it is subjected to is same. The value of E is also same. So because of that reason I have written 2U2. Had these dimensions been different for you, you will have to take U2 plus another term U3 and then solve. So let's solve this. I'll have sigma square AL upon 2E for the first one plus 2 times sigma square AL upon 2E for the second bar. Now for calculating sigma, the formula is load upon area. The value of load is not given to me, it is written as P. This is very important. And it is given that the maximum stress on this member is 150 megapascal. Look very carefully, first bar and the second bars, okay, they have a different value of area. The stress which will be applied on both of these bars will be of different magnitude. So this value of sigma max which is given to me is for the first bar because the first bar will be having more stress induced because of lesser area and the same amount of load. So what I'm going to do is quickly I'm going to write down over here that this is nothing but my sigma 1. I know sigma 1 will be P upon A1. Let me call this area as A1 and these two areas as A2. For calculating A1, you can see it is given as 1 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter square. So when I have to convert this into mm square, this will be into 10 raised to 6 because 1 meter is 10 raised to 3 mm and it will be 10 raised to 3 raised to 2 which is 10 raised to 6. So this becomes 1 into 10 raised to 2 mm square which is nothing but 100. Value of P is not known. A1 is 100 and sigma 1 is 150. Therefore, the value of P is 15,000 Newton. Now this becomes a little simple for me because I know the value of P which I have to substitute for both the cases. Now if you want, rather than calculating as P by A, what you can do is you can also calculate your value of sigma 2. Sigma 2 is going to be P upon A2. P is 15,000 and the value of A is 2 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter square which will be 200 mm square. So this is nothing but 75 Newton per mm square. Now this becomes very simple for substitution. So let's solve. Therefore, U is equal to sigma 1 square A1L upon 2E, the value of E is same for both, plus sigma 2 square A2L upon 2E. Sigma 1 value is 150. Okay, don't forget the 2 here because this value is twice. So 150 square A1 is 100. L is also different. So this is L1, this is L2. This is 0.05 meter, which means it is 50 mm upon 2 and the value of E is 2 into 10 raised to 5 plus this is 2 into sigma 2 is 75 square. The value of A2 is 200. L2 is 0.475 meter. So this is multiplied with 1000 to get into mm. So this will be 475 mm upon 2 into 10 raised to 5. When I solve this in my calculator, I get the value as 2953.125 Newton mm. This is nothing but 2.953 Newton meter, and Newton meter can also be written as joule if you know. So this is 2.953 joule or 3 joules. If you round off the number, it will be 3 joules. So this is the total energy stored in the bar. With this, we come to an end of this topic of strain energy. If you have any doubts, please write to me in the comment section. I hope you have understood the numerical. I'll see you in the next session. Thank you.